Well, good morning everyone. Well, this morning we're having a walk around Langset reservoir. I'm revisiting a place. When I first started out in Vanlife, this was one of the first places I ever came to. So I'm revisiting 9 months later. Hopefully nothing changed. Well, there's some great walks around Langset. I'm going to follow this path which will take me all the way round and up onto the moor and then back down the other side. Well, the sun is shining today, but there's a little bit of a breeze which is a bit chilly, so I've had to put my jumper on. I mean, because I'm under the shade of the trees, I'm not getting the full benefit of the sun. But it's another great day to be out in nature. I think nature can make you feel so much better in yourself. If you're feeling a bit down, go for a walk out in nature. See what difference it makes. I know it works for me, so it might work for you. There's also something about water. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it makes, as the water is lapping along with a bit of a breeze, even though this is a reservoir and not a stream or a sea, it makes me feel tranquil just standing here. I could sit here and watch the water for quite a while actually. It would cheer me up so much. But I'm not sad at the moment, but I don't know, I think that's what I'm trying to say, is that when you get out in nature, regardless of what it is, your feeling of self is so much better than if you're stuck indoors. I mean, we don't really talk a great deal about mental health, men, and I think we should do a bit more. It can have a really damaging effect on your life when you've got mental health issues. I mean, it doesn't have to be that severe. You just might feel depressed every now and again. And the way to get out of that, for me, is nature. Well, this was just going to be a walk around the reservoir, and it's turning into a bit of a talk about mental health. But I think it's a bigger thing. I don't know if it's just a bigger issue nowadays than it used to be, or maybe it's just that people now think they can talk about it, or they're a bit more open about it. There's always been a stigma attached to it, I think. Especially for men. I'm saying especially for men, it might be the same for women, I don't know, really. But it's only recently, the last few years, that men have actually mentioned anything to do with their mental health. These mental health charities set up, specifically for men. I mean, I don't really know what to say about it, apart from what works for me. I've had ups and downs over the years. I wouldn't say I'd suffered from severe mental health problems, but I have suffered from depression every now and again. I think living on my own for so long, there's sometimes when you can get a little bit depressed about that. I think it's more to do with shared experiences for me. When you experience something and you're on your own, that inability to share that experience with somebody else at the same time can be quite depressing. I think that's one of the good things about YouTube, is that I can have an experience and share it with all you. And your comments coming back to me, it's like sharing that experience. How you liked it, if you thought it was any good. I'm still struggling a little bit with the YouTube subscribers, unfortunately. I'm not hitting as many people as I want to. And I think people talk about having a niche. I mean, I'm a solo van lifer, full-time van lifer. And I'm travelling around in my van to different places and having experiences there. And then I'm putting them on YouTube. But so some of the things I've done and some of the things I've talked about are not really van specific. So maybe it's not falling within that niche. I mean, today's a prime example. I mean, I'm talking about mental health. But I suppose mental health as a van dweller, solo van dweller, will fall into that niche. I think living in a van and having the freedom to move around has had an impact mentally on me. I mean, when I was working full time, go to work, come home, sit in a flat, go to work, come home, sit in the flat, and a couple of days off, I'm used to go out cycling or walking. But I was struggling a bit. I mean, if you don't really enjoy the job you're doing, it becomes a bit of a grind. And that starts getting you a bit, getting you down a little bit. And that was what's happening with me. But since I've moved into the van and gone part-time, 90% of that's gone away. And I'm now feeling so much better in myself each day. Even during the winter months, I still manage to get around to different places. And not being stuck in that one base in the flat really made a big difference. As I say, even in the height of winter, when I was stuck in the van, I could still look out onto a different vista each day. Being near this water has just reminded me of an article I read about wild water swimming as a therapeutic exercise which also helps with your mental health. Not 100% sure jumping in a cold river will make any big difference to me, but it might work for you. I think I'll wait until the height of summer before I start jumping in water. I mean, I've always enjoyed water, swimming, scuba diving, surfing. So while water swimming, yeah, I'll give it a go. See if it does make a difference. But like I say, I think I'll wait a few more months for it to warm up a bit more and the water to get a bit warmer. When I'm walking through these woods around this reservoir, basically on my own. I mean, the car park was full when I pulled up, so I don't know where everybody is. I mean, they might have moved on to the higher ground or up onto the moors. But I'm sure everybody who's been out today will feel happier in themselves for being out. I mean, I've got a sneaking suspicion that youngsters nowadays have more problems with their mental health than when I was a kid. When I was a kid. I mean, sat inside on the computers and laptops and watching games and playing games and watching videos, everything else, and never going outside. I mean, when I was a child, you couldn't keep me indoors. I was always out, from early morning to late at night. It just seems so different now. I mean, I know we live in an age where you want to take care of your children and you're reluctant to let them out. And Mr. and Mrs. are both in full-time work in order to survive, so they can't take the kids out, so the kids are locked indoors. Not a great situation to be in. It probably affects mum and dad and the children and their mental health. I mean, struggling with today's life is bad enough, and if you can't spend any time outdoors, I really feel sorry for you. Well, that's my take on my mental health, or your mental health, and the benefits of nature, which helps me and which might help you if you give it a go. Now, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this place show you what it can do. So I'll be taking some shots of the rest of the place, and maybe put a bit of music on it and see if it helps your mental health without being outside. Leave a comment. Am I talking rubbish? I don't know. It helps me. It might help you. Well, today's video's a bit jumbled up. It started off just as a walk, became something about mental health, so it's a little bit jumbled. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, give us some comments, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. So I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.